What if I told you that the Straw Hat Pirates are not just strong, but that with the perfect devil fruits, they would become the most broken crew in One Piece history? Not random powers, not lucky fruits, but devil fruits that perfectly match their personality, their role, and their fighting style. This is not just a what if. This is a nightmare for the world government. Devil fruits in One Piece are not just abilities, they are symbols of will, destiny, and sacrifice. And that is why giving the right fruit to the right person can completely change the balance of the world. So let's break down the perfect devil fruit for each Straw Hat Pirate. Luffy already possesses a devil fruit that perfectly represents who he is. The Hito Hito no Mi, model Nika. This fruit grants a body with the properties of rubber, but its true power is freedom. It allows the user to fight without the limits of normal physics, turning imagination into reality. The more Luffy laughs, the stronger the fruit becomes, because this power does not respond to hatred or fear. It responds to joy. Luffy does not fight to dominate. He fights to free. And that is why this fruit is not just strong, it is dangerous to the entire world order. Zoro's perfect devil fruit is the Hana Hana no Mi, the same power used by Robin. This fruit allows the user to manifest body parts anywhere, including arms, hands, and limbs. Now imagine this power in the hands of a master swordsman. Zoro could grow arms from the ground, the air, or even his enemies, and each arm could hold a sword. This would turn Zoro's 3 sword style into 6, 9, or even 12 sword style. Zoro would no longer be limited by his body. His killing range would become absurd, and his attacks would come from every direction at once. Combined with Haki, this would turn Zoro into a walking slaughter field. Sanji's perfect devil fruit is without question the Suke Suke no Mi, the power of invisibility. This fruit allows the user to turn themselves and other objects completely invisible. Sanji is already a master of speed, stealth, and positioning, and let's be honest, he is also a massive peeping Tom. This fruit perfectly matches both his combat style and his personality in battle. Sanji could disappear mid-fight, attack from blind spots, and deliver devastating kicks without ever being seen. Combined with Skywalk, he would become an invisible airborne assassin. And outside of battle, well, Sanji would absolutely abuse this power, and everyone knows it. Nami with the Goro Goro no Mi would be one of the most terrifying characters on the seas. This fruit grants full control over lightning, electricity, and electromagnetism, including extreme speed and devastating strikes. Unlike most users, Nami would not rely on raw power. She would use this ability with intelligence, precision, and strategy. Combining lightning with weather patterns, pressure systems, and climate control, turning entire battle files into controlled storms, where every strike is calculated and every enemy is trapped. Usopp's perfect devil fruit is the Pocket Pocket no Mi, a power that allows the user to store an unlimited amount of objects inside their body without weight or restrictions. For a sniper, this is perfect. Usopp could carry every plant, ammo, type, trap, and gadget without ever running out. He would always be prepared, always have the right tool, and never be caught off guard. This fruit does not make Usopp brave, it makes him ready. And that is what he needs most. Robin's perfect devil fruit is the Memo Memo no Mi, the power to read, alter, and remove memories. This ability is far more dangerous than any physical attack. Robin could extract secrets from enemies, erase loyalties, and destroy entire organizations without ever drawing blood. Combined with her knowledge of history, this fruit would turn Robin into a living intelligence weapon and a nightmare for any government. Frankie's perfect devil fruit is the Buki Buki no Mi, the power to turn any part of the body into weapons, guns, missiles, and blades. Combined with his cyborg body, this would turn Frankie into a walking war factory, a man who can adapt his firepower mid-fight and overwhelm enemies through pure mechanical dominance. Brook's perfect devil fruit is the Kage Kage no Mi, the ability to control shadows. Brook already exists between life and death, and this fruit would push him even further. He could steal Shadow's power himself up and attack enemies through darkness. Combined with his soul powers, Brook would become a true creature of the night. Jinbei's perfect devil fruit is the Kira Kira no Mi, the ability to turn the body into diamond. This power provides extreme defense and resistance. Combined with Fishman Karate and Haki, Jinbei would become an unbreakable wall, a true shield for the Straw Hat crew. A sun god, a multi-armed sword demon, an invisible assassin, a storm queen, a walking arsenal, a memory reaper, a shadow soul, and a diamond shield. This is not a pirate crew. This is the ultimate nightmare for the world government. But what makes these devil fruits truly terrifying is not their individual power, it is how they interact with each other. Because the Straw Hats have always been strongest as a crew, and with these abilities, their team synergy would reach a completely different level. Imagine Zoro using the Hana Hana no Mi to create sword arms across the entire battlefield, while Sanji moves completely invisible, striking from blind spots that the enemy cannot track. At the same time, Nami controls the sky above them with lightning storms, cutting off escape routes and controlling the flow of the fight before it even begins. Usopp with the Pocket Pocket no Mi would be able to support every single Straw Hat at once, supplying weapons, ammo, and traps in real time, turning chaos into control. While Frankie with the Buki Buki no Mi provides overwhelming firepower, keeping entire armies at bay. Robin with the Memo Memo no Mi would not even need to fight directly. She could remove command structures, erase strategy from generals, and turn allies against each other before the first attack is even launched. This is not just power, this is information warfare. Brook and Jinbei together would create an impossible frontline. Brook controlling shadows and fear, while Jinbei stands as an unbreakable wall, a defense that cannot be penetrated, and a pressure that never stops advancing. And at the center of all of this is Luffy, who does not command through fear or strategy, but through pure will. His presence alone pushes every other Straw Hat beyond their limits, and with the powers of Nika, he turns the entire battlefield into a stage, where the Straw Hats always have the advantage. This is why the world government would never allow this crew to exist in this form, because you cannot control a force that fights for freedom, cannot erase a crew that cannot be tracked, and cannot stop a group that grows stronger the longer the fight continues. These devil fruits do not just make the Straw Hats stronger, they remove every weakness they ever had. No blind spots, no supply issues, no information gaps, no defensive failures. This crew would not need allies. They would be a moving endgame. And that is what makes this scenario so terrifying, because this does not feel like fan fiction. It feels like a Final Saga possibility, where the Straw Hats stop being pirates and become a force of nature that the world can no longer ignore. So the real question is not whether this crew would win. The real question is how long the world government would last once these powers enter the board. Now tell me, which devil fruit combination scares you the most? Which Straw Hat becomes completely unstoppable? And what matchup would you want to see? Drop it in the comments. And if you want part 2 with Law, Yamato, Sabo, and the Revolutionaries, you already know what to do.